Hollywood has always been a world of glitz, glamour, and seemingly untouchable stars. But behind the dazzling lights and red carpets, secrets often hide in the shadows, no joke. Few stories have grabbed the public's attention quite like Nicole Kidman's massive $525 million divorce, a saga that straight up became legendary in both Hollywood and the legal world. For years, fans kept guessing and whispering about the real details behind her high-profile split. But now, Nicole herself is finally speaking out, dropping shocking clauses and confidential terms that have everyone talking non-stop. One of the most jaw-dropping bombshells is what insiders are calling the infamous cocaine clause, a condition that had stayed completely under wraps until now. Just the idea that something like this existed in a multi-million-dollar divorce deal has sparked wild curiosity and disbelief across social media, news outlets, and celebrity gossip forums. Nicole Kidman, a respected actress whose career spans decades, is no stranger to the pressure cooker of fame. Her performances have earned critical acclaim, multiple awards, and serious love from fans worldwide. Still, her personal life has always been examined under a microscope. This latest reveal is a sharp reminder that even the most calm and composed public figures are dealing with chaos behind closed doors. According to court documents and confidential sources, the divorce agreement was carefully and strategically built, meant to protect not just assets, but reputations too. While settlements this huge are already complicated, what makes Nicole's case stand out are the never-before-seen clauses aimed at controlling personal behavior, including drug use, social interactions, and potential scandals that could mess with public image or impact the children involved. The cocaine clause has become the main headline grabber in this whole reveal, living rent-free in everyone's mind. Its existence shows the extreme lengths Hollywood elites sometimes go to in order to protect their legacy during very public breakups. Speculation around Nicole's divorce has been non-stop for years, fueled by media frenzy, paparazzi shots, and the occasional mysterious comment. Still, fans had no clue about the exact mechanisms and enforceable clauses hidden inside the settlement. Legal experts who reviewed parts of the agreement describe it as intense and aggressive, built to anticipate almost any situation that could put either party at risk. The inclusion of a clause directly addressing cocaine or other illegal substances is extremely rare in the entertainment industry, making Nicole's disclosure even more explosive. The clause reportedly outlines strict consequences if either person engages in illegal drug use, clearly meant to stop scandalous behavior that could damage reputations or public perception. It's next-level foresight, showing how personal responsibility, legal strategy, and celebrity image management collide when the stakes are sky-high. Beyond the legal fine print, Nicole's revelation hits on an emotional level that really connects with fans. She's known not just for her talent, but for staying graceful under pressure, and opening up about such private details marks a bold and vulnerable moment. While money and contracts usually steal the spotlight, Nicole's honesty about the fear, uncertainty, and need to protect herself makes the story feel real. It reminds everyone that fame and wealth don't protect you from emotional chaos. By speaking publicly, she also opens the door to a bigger conversation about how modern relationships work among high-profile figures, where personal choices and legal obligations overlap in ways most people never see. The cocaine clause represents a bigger trend in celebrity divorces, where agreements aren't just about money anymore, they are about behavior and image too. For Nicole, it became a power move, a way to stay in control of a process that could have easily been twisted by media narratives or messy rumors. The clause sparked curiosity and debate, with fans and commentators breaking down what it means for Hollywood culture, accountability, and the extreme steps people take to protect themselves when every move is watched. Analysts say provisions like this, while intense, show how sophisticated celebrity legal strategies have become, mixing traditional divorce rules with behavioral clauses usually seen only in high-stakes negotiations. As Nicole Kidman continues to talk about her experiences, the public is getting a rare peek into the crossroads of fame, fortune, and personal strength. The $525 million settlement is shocking on its own, but it's only part of the story. Clauses like the one involving cocaine highlight the insane level of detail needed to survive Hollywood divorces. Fans aren't just hooked by the money, they are drawn to the drama, tension, and unexpected twists shaping the narrative. In a world where public image can make or break careers, Nicole's proactive approach shows how stars manage risk, protect themselves, and keep their dignity intact during turmoil. This first part sets the foundation for understanding the deeper impact of Nicole Kidman's disclosure. From unheard-of legal clauses to emotional resilience and public judgment, the details expose the raw reality behind celebrity divorces. As more details come out, one thing is clear. Nicole's honesty offers a rare window into the struggles faced by high-profile individuals when private relationships collide with non-stop public attention. This isn't just about money or legal tactics. It's about courage, strategy, and the wild measures needed to survive life at the very top. As people process the shocking reveal of Nicole Kidman's cocaine clause, focus naturally shifts to the bigger picture of her divorce and the extreme precautions taken during one of Hollywood's highest-stakes separations. Unlike regular divorces, Nicole's settlement shows a level of complexity only seen among the richest and most scrutinized individuals, blending money, legal foresight, and personal protection in ways that sound almost unreal. Beyond the headline-grabbing $525 million figure, the psychological and reputational safeguards inside the agreement show a carefully calculated effort to maintain dignity under intense scrutiny. The clause about illicit substances, as wild as it sounds, is just one piece of a larger legal structure designed to stop scandals before they explode in the media. For insiders, this kind of behavioral clause reflects a harsh truth about Hollywood life. Fame is a blessing and a burden. In an industry where every mistake gets amplified, contracts often go way beyond money to control behavior, social media activity, and potential impacts on children, co-stars, and public image. According to sources, Nicole's legal team planned for countless scenarios where reputations could be damaged, creating enforceable clauses that may be unusual, but were smart and strategic. While the name of the clause grabs attention, its purpose is simple. It sets boundaries, enforces accountability, and lays out consequences to ensure responsible behavior during and after the divorce. Basically, it works as both a warning and a shield, protecting Nicole's legacy while offering legal protection if rules were broken. Public reaction has been intense, to say the least. People used to hearing about celebrity breakups and money settlements are now stunned by the idea that lifestyle choices can be legally regulated so precisely. Social media blew up with theories, hot takes, and jokes. Legal experts and entertainment journalists broke down every angle, with reactions ranging from respect for Nicole's control to shock over how extreme the clause is. Some say it could change how celebrity divorces are handled in the future, while others focus on the emotional side, saying her honesty makes the story hit harder. Beyond the shock factor, Nicole's story reveals the emotional toll of a very public split. Even with insane wealth, the stress, uncertainty, and pressure are brutal. The need for such clauses reflects not just legal planning, but a deep desire for stability during a chaotic chapter. For Nicole, that meant planning for media interference, unexpected behavior, and anything that could spiral out of control, all while protecting herself and her children. Legal experts believe cases like Nicole Kidman's could influence future agreements, especially as public figures look for stronger ways to protect their reputations in a non-stop media cycle. Traditional divorces focus on assets and custody, but this agreement shows how behavior management and risk control are becoming just as important. The cocaine clause symbolizes a more modern, comprehensive approach, blending legal protection with personal accountability. As more details surface about how the agreement was negotiated, insiders say Nicole's team documented every possible outcome, anticipating public curiosity and media obsession. Every clause, including the cocaine one, was written carefully to ensure it could be enforced while keeping things discreet. These details peel back the glossy Hollywood image and reveal the intense strategy underneath it all. Nicole's willingness to share this information adds a human layer to the story, proving that even icons deal with vulnerability and uncertainty. The revelation also sparked debate around ethics, privacy, and how far contracts should go in controlling behavior. While opinions differ, many see Nicole's transparency as empowering. By telling her story herself, she takes control of the narrative, replacing rumors with facts. It highlights how celebrity divorce agreements are evolving, with behavioral clauses possibly becoming the new normal. At the end of the day, Nicole Kidman's disclosure isn't just tabloid drama. It's a deep look into celebrity life, high-stakes legal battles, and the emotional strength required to survive both. The $525 million settlement is huge, but the real story is in the clauses, the planning, and the personal empowerment behind it. As Hollywood continues to react, Nicole's story stands as proof of the complexity, pressure, and raw humanity that come with life at the top. As the world continues to react to the shocking details of Nicole Kidman's divorce, public obsession has only grown stronger. Fans, critics, and media outlets are breaking down every part of the $525 million settlement, especially the now infamous cocaine clause that turned into a cultural moment overnight. While earlier parts exposed the legal strategy and personal foresight behind the agreement, Part 3 dives into the aftermath, Hollywood reactions, media chaos, and the ripple effects on Nicole's public image. This story is already wild, and it's far from finished. The moment details surfaced, Hollywood's rumor machine went crazy. Entertainment outlets rushed to confirm the documents, while experts debated what this clause could mean for future celebrity divorces. Legal analysts called it shocking and unheard of, saying it shows just how far celebrities are willing to go to protect their names. Some insiders believe similar clauses may pop up in future elite divorces, signaling a big shift in how these deals are negotiated. For Nicole, going public was a strategic move, taking control before gossip could spiral. It was bold, calculated, and fearless. Social media exploded instantly. Fans and fellow celebrities reacted with shock, respect, and curiosity. Memes, hashtags, and deep dive videos flooded the internet, breaking down the cocaine clause from every angle. Some praised Nicole for owning her story, seeing her as strong and unshakable. Others questioned the ethics and enforceability of such a clause. Across platforms, the debate was loud and non-stop, proving this was bigger than gossip. It sparked real conversations about accountability, legal power, and the intense pressure of living in the spotlight. Behind all the flashy headlines, Hollywood insiders spilled even more tea about just how next-level Nicole's settlement really was. Sources close to the actress said her legal team was on point, carefully predicting every possible mess that could pop up from media pressure, public gossip, and the actions of anyone involved. Every single clause, including that now infamous cocaine clause, was put in place to shut down scandal while still giving solid legal backup if anyone crossed the line. The foresight was honestly wild, showing a deep, almost chessmaster-level understanding of legal strategy and reputation control. Observers pointed out that this move fits into a bigger Hollywood trend, where elite celebs are now adding behavior rules into financial settlements to protect both their private lives and public images. So when Nicole decided to talk about this openly, it wasn't just eye-opening, it was smart, giving the public a rare peek into a world that's usually kept under lock and key. Beyond the legal and social angles, Nicole's revelations hit on an emotional level too. Fans weren't just shocked by the massive money or the unusual clauses, they connected with the very human story underneath it all. Divorce, no matter how rich or famous you are, is messy and painful. And Nicole's honesty showed how hard it is to stay graceful, calm, and in control when the whole world is watching your every move. That cocaine clause, as wild as it sounds, really highlights the complicated reality celebs live in, where personal choices can be regulated by contracts and judged publicly at the same time. It also brings up big questions about personal freedom versus responsibility in high-profile relationships, pushing viewers to think about the insane pressure and accountability that come with living life in the spotlight. Media coverage went into overdrive as more details about the negotiations came out. Insiders revealed that Nicole's legal team ran through every scenario imaginable, from PR disasters to personal slip-ups that could affect public opinion or legal outcomes. Adding a behavior clause about cocaine use was described as a preemptive move, basically damage control to protect everyone involved. Analysts noted that while these clauses aren't common, they show a growing understanding that personal behavior can be just as powerful as money when it comes to high-profile divorces. Nicole's mix of transparency, foresight, and self-empowerment has set a whole new standard for settlements in the entertainment world. The public obsession is also fueled by the emotional stakes. Nicole Kidman's disclosure paints a clear picture of what life is really like at the top of fame, where every action, choice, and confession matters. The blend of huge finances, precise legal moves, and personal accountability creates a story that's gripping and relatable, reminding people that money and fame don't cancel out human struggles. Nicole's bravery in speaking up turns what could have been pure scandal into a story about strength, planning, and resilience. It also shows how smart communication can shape public opinion, flipping a private legal issue into a controlled, narrative-driven reveal that reinforces her image and personal power. Looking ahead, the fallout from Nicole Kidman's revelations is expected to keep influencing conversations about celebrity divorces, behavior clauses, and reputation protection. Industry insiders believe more public figures might start using similar tactics, adding behavior rules into agreements to avoid scandal and protect their legacy. For Nicole, this move locked in her status not just as a legendary actress, but as a sharp, strategic woman who knows how to navigate the crazy crossroads of fame, personal life, and legal responsibility. Her story is a solid reminder that even in Hollywood's glittery world, careful planning, foresight, and guts are key to staying in control of your own narrative. At the end of the day, Nicole Kidman's $525 million divorce and the shocking reveal of the cocaine clause tell a layered story about money, strategy, and personal empowerment. Beyond the jaw-dropping numbers, the clauses, negotiations, and emotional tension give a rare look at the extreme lengths celebrities go to protect themselves, their families, and their public image. As people keep reacting, speculating, and debating, Nicole's honesty makes sure her story is driven by facts and insight, not rumors, showing the serious resilience needed to survive life under Hollywood's microscope. This chapter stands as proof of smart thinking, inner strength, and the unpredictable chaos of fame, leaving audiences hooked and waiting for whatever comes next. As the dust started to settle after Nicole Kidman's public revelations, attention quickly turned to the behind-the-scenes chaos and the media storm that followed. Hollywood insiders, legal experts, and fans all wanted to understand the bigger picture of such a never-before-seen divorce settlement. While earlier parts focused on legal details and emotional weight, Part 4 zooms in on the ripple effects, the brutal media scrutiny, the smart messaging Nicole used, and how all this reshaped public perception of one of Hollywood's biggest icons. The reveal of the infamous cocaine clause acted like a spark, lighting up industry-wide debates about privacy, personal responsibility, and the extreme steps celebs take to protect their legacy. Right after the announcement, media outlets worldwide ran with the most shocking angles. The cocaine clause stole the spotlight, blowing up social media and going viral fast. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube were flooded with hot takes, memes, and non-stop commentary. Celebrity gossip channels rushed out reaction videos, breaking down the clause and questioning whether it could even be enforced. Fans argued over whether it was necessary, while legal pros debated the precedent it could set for future high-profile splits. Inside Hollywood, the disclosure triggered serious talks among lawyers and agents about whether behavior clauses might soon become standard in celebrity settlements. For Nicole, the timing was no accident. By owning the narrative and addressing the clause head-on, she avoided getting blindsided by rumors or twisted media spin. The media frenzy also highlighted the deeply human side of the story. Nicole Kidman, despite all her fame and awards, dealt with the same heartbreak that comes with the end of a marriage. Interviews and insider reports showed how much thought went into every decision she made during the divorce. Beyond the money, she was clearly focused on avoiding reputational damage, for herself and especially for her kids. The cocaine clause reflects that mindset perfectly. It shows that in high-profile divorces, protecting family integrity can matter just as much as securing assets. Nicole's choice to reveal it publicly was bold but calculated, strengthening her image as someone who's not just resilient, but smart and strategic when handling personal and professional chaos. Within Hollywood circles, the clause sparked serious conversations about changing trends in celebrity divorces. Traditionally, settlements were all about money, custody, and obligations. Nicole's disclosure points to a shift toward more all-inclusive agreements that cover behavior rules, reputation protection, and scandal prevention. Legal analysts praised the high-level thinking behind her team's strategy, noting that while such clauses are rare, they reflect a growing awareness that personal actions can carry massive legal and financial consequences. For Nicole, this wasn't about control for control's sake, it was about staying ahead of potential problems instead of cleaning up messes later. Public reaction has been mixed, which honestly makes sense. Fans admire Nicole's honesty and courage, while others question whether such clauses go too far. Still, the emotional angle keeps people invested. Viewers aren't just curious about the money, they are drawn to the real-life struggle behind it. The intense coverage exposes the pressure of holding onto dignity when the world is judging your every move. Nicole's openness pulls back the curtain on Hollywood life, proving that even untouchable stars deal with fear, uncertainty, and the brutal demands of fame. Her story hits because it blends drama, intelligence, and emotional strength in a way few celebs ever show. The Hollywood community reacted with a mix of shock and respect. Fellow actors and insiders recognize just how extreme these protective measures were. Some quietly shake their heads at how unique the cocaine clause is, while others see it as proof of Nicole's careful planning and fierce commitment to her family. Online chatter reflects that same mix: fascination, moral debate, and curiosity. People argue about whether such clauses are ethical or controlling, but Nicole's transparency softens criticism by framing it as protection, not punishment, reinforcing the idea that strategy and compassion can coexist. As weeks passed, focus shifted to what all this means for Nicole's life after divorce. Reports say she's been rebuilding her routine, juggling work projects while keeping family front and center. The clause's reveal, shocking as it was, marked a turning point, a clear statement that she controls her story and her legacy. Her approach offers a playbook for handling public, high-stakes personal crises, showing how honesty, legal smarts, and emotional intelligence can work together to preserve dignity under pressure. For fans, it turns a scandal into a powerful lesson about preparation, empowerment, and resilience. In the end, the ripple effects of Nicole Kidman's revelations go way beyond entertainment headlines. Lawyers, analysts, and fans are still debating what this means for future celebrity divorces. Conversations about behavior clauses, risk control, and reputation management are louder than ever. Nicole's story, blending legal innovation, emotional honesty, and sharp communication, resonates far beyond Hollywood. The cocaine clause isn't just a shocking detail, it represents the crossroads of fame, responsibility, and careful planning in a world where every move is magnified. As Nicole Kidman's revelations kept echoing through Hollywood and global media, the story grew bigger than headlines, turning into a layered narrative of resilience, strategy, and public obsession. While earlier sections covered legal details and emotional fallout, Part 5 digs into the international reaction, psychological side, and behind-the-scenes realities still shaping this wild saga. The cocaine clause, once pure shock value, is now seen as part of a bigger picture that shows the pressure, calculation, and extreme measures needed to survive at the top of fame. International media jumped on the story fast, highlighting both the massive $525 million figure and the unusual behavior clauses. Papers across Europe, Asia, and Australia ran deep dives into not just the money, but the cultural impact of contracts that regulate personal behavior. Analysts pointed out that this reflects a growing fear among celebs that scandal can wreck not only reputation, but careers and family stability. Nicole's disclosure became more than personal. It turned into a global conversation about accountability, fame, and how private choices collide with public life in Hollywood. Psychologists and relationship experts also weighed in, focusing on the mental strength it takes to share such personal details publicly, especially around sensitive topics like substance-related clauses. For Nicole, speaking openly was about taking control before the story got twisted. By framing it around foresight, family protection, and accountability, she positioned herself not as gossip fuel, but as a powerful, self-aware woman handling a tough chapter with clarity and confidence. Behind the scenes, her legal and PR teams reportedly planned every word with precision, balancing openness with caution. The aim wasn't just to inform, but to prevent exaggeration and misinterpretation. Experts say this level of prep is rare, proving Nicole's high-level understanding of both law and media. In a world where one slip can wreck everything, this careful storytelling shows serious foresight. Public reaction kept evolving. Fans showed admiration and curiosity, while debates about ethics and privacy continued. Many praised her courage, seeing the reveal as empowerment rather than shock bait. Others questioned whether behavior clauses cross a line. These debates only highlight how unique and impactful her settlement really is. Nicole's own reflections in interviews added depth, as she spoke honestly about the emotional toll and the need to protect her children. The cocaine clause, stripped of sensationalism, became a symbol of risk management in high-stakes situations. Within legal and entertainment circles, this case is now studied closely. Experts believe it could influence Hollywood negotiations for years, shaping how fame, behavior, and reputation are managed. At its core, the story reminds everyone that no amount of fame or money erases human vulnerability, or the need for smart planning when everything is on the line. Nicole Kidman's boldness in opening up about the cocaine clause and the other layers of her massive $525 million divorce really shows the kind of strength it takes to deal with heavy personal drama while the whole world is watching. Her story, packed with high-stakes drama, smart legal moves, and raw emotional honesty, lays out a real roadmap for empowerment when life gets extremely intense. As people across the globe keep tuning into her story, Nicole's example makes it clear that being upfront, thinking ahead, and playing it smart are key tools for holding onto your power, your dignity, and your sense of control when you're living under non-stop public scrutiny. To wrap it up, Nicole Kidman's revelations mark a game-changing moment in Hollywood divorce history. The $525 million settlement, the eyebrow-raising cocaine clause, and her decision to go public together create a story that goes way beyond basic celebrity gossip. This is a story about grit, sharp foresight, and personal power, offering rare insight into the complicated reality faced by people at the very top of fame. As the public keeps reacting, breaking it down, and talking it through, Nicole's story stands as proof of the extreme measures needed to survive life, love, and legacy under Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight. As the story of Nicole Kidman's $525 million divorce keeps unfolding, the world is starting to fully understand just how huge this situation really is. Part 6 digs into the final layers of this complicated saga, zooming in on the bigger cultural impact, behind-the-scenes truths, and the long-term effects on both Nicole and the entertainment industry. While earlier parts focused on the legal clauses, media frenzy, and intense public judgment, this section looks at how Nicole's disclosure has reshaped celebrity divorces, influenced public opinion, and exposed just how far high-profile figures have to go to protect their personal and professional lives. Hollywood insiders called the settlement a straight-up masterclass in legal and strategic planning. The cocaine clause was only one piece of a carefully crafted agreement built to shut down potential scandals, protect personal reputation, and keep stability for the kids involved. Sources close to Nicole say every single clause was written with extreme care, covering almost every possible scenario that could pop up in a breakup this public. Her legal team didn't just handle the money, they also built in behavioral safeguards to stop anything that could blow up publicly. That level of planning shows a deep understanding that in Hollywood, perception can hit just as hard as reality, and strategy is everything. The international reaction has been just as wild as the coverage at home. Media outlets from Europe to Asia jumped on the story, highlighting how unprecedented the settlement was, especially the massive dollar amount and the behavioral clauses, with the cocaine clause getting the most attention. Many commentators framed Nicole's honesty as a cultural moment, kicking off conversations about accountability, personal responsibility, and how fame and legal strategy collide. The public can't seem to get enough, with people around the world debating the ethical, legal, and personal implications of clauses like these. The disclosure sparked non-stop discussion about celebrity privacy, legal innovation, and the growing complexity of high-stakes divorces in the entertainment world. Beyond headlines and public chatter, the emotional and psychological side of Nicole's disclosure runs deep. Experts point out that revealing such personal legal details, especially ones tied to potential scandal, takes serious courage and careful thought. By openly talking about the cocaine clause and other settlement details, Nicole took control of her own story and flipped the narrative on her terms. That transparency earned widespread praise, spotlighting her strength, resilience, and sharp strategic mindset. It also sets an example for other public figures dealing with high-profile breakups, showing that mixing precise legal planning with smart communication can protect both personal and professional interests. Behind closed doors, the negotiations were reportedly intense and exhausting. Legal teams mapped out every possible outcome, predicted media reactions, and created clauses to deal with behavior, reputation, and family well-being. While the cocaine clause grabbed all the public attention, it was really part of a bigger strategy aimed at avoiding conflict, protecting privacy, and reducing risk. Sources say these kinds of provisions, though uncommon, show how celebrity legal strategy is leveling up, with personal conduct now seen as a core part of smart settlement planning. Nicole's choice to openly acknowledge these steps only reinforces her image as someone confident, calculated, and fully in control. The cultural conversation around Nicole's divorce has also shined a light on changing attitudes toward celebrity accountability. People are split on whether behavioral clauses are ethical or necessary, with fans, commentators, and legal experts all weighing in. Nicole's approach, though, shifts the whole debate. These clauses weren't about punishment, they were about protection, meant to preserve dignity and create stability during chaos. By talking about them openly, she moved the narrative away from cheap shock value and toward strategic empowerment, giving audiences a deeper look at the pressure and responsibility that come with high-profile relationships. The public reaction shows that unique mix of fascination, empathy, and curiosity that defines modern celebrity culture. On top of the personal and cultural impact, Nicole's disclosure could change Hollywood's legal playbook. Analysts believe future celebrity divorces might start including similar behavioral clauses as media scrutiny keeps getting more intense. Legal experts now see these safeguards as smart tools to prevent damage and keep disputes under control. Nicole Kidman's case is already being viewed as a benchmark for next-level divorce strategy, blending financial planning, behavioral rules, and public communication in a way rarely seen before. Her openness raised the bar and showed how proactive thinking can reshape industry norms. At its core, though, this story hits on a deeply human level. Even with all her fame and fortune, Nicole faced the same things anyone does when a relationship ends: emotional vulnerability, uncertainty, and tough choices. The difference was that her life played out under a microscope, forcing her to combine legal smarts, strategic thinking, and inner strength just to survive it all. Revealing the cocaine clause and other settlement details shows how she handled that pressure with intelligence and bravery. It also highlights how complex modern celebrity life really is, where personal decisions, legal strategy, and public image are all tangled together. In the end, Nicole Kidman's $525 million divorce, her public revelation of the cocaine clause, and the strategic transparency she chose completely redefined what it looks like to face high-profile personal challenges. This story goes far beyond celebrity gossip, offering real insight into legal innovation, emotional strength, and reputation management in today's entertainment industry. As people continue to react, analyze, and debate, Nicole's story stands as a powerful example of empowerment, foresight, and dignity, showing how one of Hollywood's biggest icons navigated an incredibly complex and public chapter of her life. Her story is likely to influence both public opinion and industry practices for years to come, locking in its place in celebrity history. As the Nicole Kidman divorce saga moves into its latest chapter, the full picture finally comes into view, revealing not just jaw-dropping financial stakes, but also unprecedented legal tactics, emotional resilience, and cultural impact. While earlier parts broke down the $525 million settlement, the cocaine clause, media reactions, and behind-the-scenes deals, Part 7 focuses on the long-term legacy of Nicole's disclosure and the lessons it offers to Hollywood insiders and everyday people alike. This saga is now seen less as a scandal and more as a real-world case study in empowerment, foresight, and navigating public and private life like a pro. The ripple effects of Nicole's revelations are still being felt across Hollywood and global media. Industry insiders say that exposing behavioral clauses in celebrity divorces could signal a new era where contracts don't just divide money, but also manage conduct and public image. Legal experts studying the Kidman settlement point out that while these clauses are rare, they reflect a growing understanding that reputation and responsibility are inseparable in modern fame. The cocaine clause, once mocked as shocking, is now being viewed as a smart precaution and a sign of Nicole's careful planning. Her choice to talk openly about it highlights her control and shows how celebrity legal negotiations are evolving. In the public arena, Nicole's honesty sparked a mix of curiosity, respect, and non-stop debate. Fans and critics keep digging into not just the money, but also the emotional, psychological, and ethical sides of the settlement. Social media stays buzzing with theories and breakdowns, while gossip channels dissect every angle of the cocaine clause. What really sets Nicole apart is her transparency, which turns what could have been pure scandal into a story about power and preparation. By sharing the details, she pulls back the curtain on life under constant scrutiny and shows how smart planning can reduce legal and reputational fallout. Behind the scenes, Nicole's legal and PR teams were key players in shaping how the story came out. Reports say every statement was carefully planned, balancing honesty with discretion while protecting her children and family. This strategic communication became a textbook example of how public figures can control the narrative, limit speculation, and stay ahead of media spin. The Kidman case is now seen as a model for handling personal and legal chaos in public, proving how important it is to align legal strategy, behavioral safeguards, and communication when the stakes are sky-high. From a psychological standpoint, Nicole's decision to share such private details shows serious emotional intelligence and strength. Experts note that talking about sensitive clauses takes guts, especially under relentless public attention. By framing the cocaine clause around foresight, accountability, and protection, Nicole turned potential judgment into a lesson on empowerment and smart planning. Her approach reminds people that even those at the top face very human struggles, and that courage, clarity, and planning are key to staying grounded. Culturally, Nicole's disclosure sparked bigger conversations about accountability and evolving norms in celebrity behavior. People are now debating whether similar clauses should become standard in high-profile divorces and how they might reshape the industry. Nicole's openness sets a new precedent, showing it's possible to handle complex personal issues while keeping integrity, agency, and public respect intact. Her story works both as a warning and an inspiration for anyone dealing with fame, money, and very public life changes. When it comes to legacy, Nicole Kidman's handling of her divorce shows a rare mix of empowerment, foresight, and smart communication. The $525 million settlement, the behavioral clauses, and her public honesty flip a potentially messy situation into a story of control and resilience. This only strengthens her image, not just as a legendary actress, but as someone capable of navigating extreme challenges with grace and brains. The ongoing obsession with her story reflects how deeply people care about celebrity culture and the complicated balance between personal life, public image, and legal strategy. As audiences keep processing the details, the story has shifted from shock value to a deeper understanding of strategic empowerment. The blend of massive finances, behavioral clauses, emotional strength, and transparency creates a layered narrative that rises above simple gossip. Nicole Kidman's handling of her $525 million divorce, her calculated reveal of the cocaine clause, and her steady dignity offer a clear blueprint for surviving life under intense public pressure. Her story proves the power of planning, foresight, and emotional strength, leaving a lasting mark on Hollywood, the public, and anyone facing high-stakes personal battles. In the end, the Nicole Kidman divorce saga is more than just a celebrity headline. It's a story about empowerment, smart strategy, and resilience. From the financial details to the controversial clauses, from media chaos to global cultural impact, this saga gives rare insight into life at the peak of fame. Nicole's transparency and strategic choices set a new standard for how public figures can face personal crises, blending legal skill, emotional intelligence, and public engagement to stay in control. As Hollywood continues to reflect on this landmark case, Nicole Kidman's story stands as a clear example of how courage, strategy, and foresight can shape legacy, influence industry norms, and change how we understand celebrity life.